can record. 3, 2, 1, go. And now we're recording, and we just started. You didn't miss a thing. So here we are with the beginning of our session. And what I want to do is get off of this so you guys can see that again. Let's go back to chats. You don't have to answer. Everyone is muted at this point except for Karen. Sorry, I was wondering if I was doing the email right. Oh, no worries about it. Continue.
Sign into this meeting. No, you just need to be on Zoom and he's going to show you the different tools. Yeah. Okay, does everybody have their Zoom open now? Yeah? What's the big Zoom.us. Open up a new window. Open a new window and go to Zoom.us. He told me already US. So I did email and they emailed back and they had Jackie signed up for an account. I didn't create a I didn't create a password. I was like at southeast.edu. I think I was what are you trying to get to right now? I just want to know if this is if you've not requested this in the help desk, I downloaded Zoom about a week ago and you told me tonight. Go right away or shouldn't go right away. I think you have to request from help desk.
Is she an instructor? Is she an instructor, Jerry? No, the lady who was just saying that she did it last week. Did you access it through Canvas?
No.
Well, it shouldn't be a pro account yet then. It's possible if you sign up and then go into Canvas, that it'll automatically convert for it. But for the most part, everyone here is tutors or students, and they wouldn't necessarily access Zoom that way. So this is the fastest way of doing it, going through the help desk and requesting it. You would be able to know if you have a pro account once you've got Zoom logged in. And I'll try and show you here if I can. Zoom support. Go back to my videos. Join a meeting. Let's see if this works. I'm gonna have to mute myself. Oh, geez. Okay, so we have some. All right, so they do have videos. They have a whole bunch of videos. So this guy's gonna click on a link, or a gal. So they're gonna click on a link, and it's gonna launch the application. Okay, and they've got a zip, but that's because they're using a Mac. If you had a Windows machine, it would be an exe file, but this would be basically the same thing. And then you would join Zoom, and I'm trying to show you at the very top line of Zoom is where you can see if it's a pro account or not.
I'm thinking he hasn't started. I don't know. Maybe we should start again.
Has everyone downloaded Zoom?
Yes.
Now? Okay. That's good. Has everyone signed in to Zoom? Okay. All right. We're going to have to do this a little bit differently today. see here, go to here.
You don't necessarily want them to join our meeting, do you?
No, it would be helpful to show the buttons to them at the same time. We could all look at the same buttons at the same time if we were all in the same. I mean, we don't have to look at it that way. Otherwise, I'm going to have to see if I can find a video of it. There, and this is a great, Zoom is a great company for creating their own tutorials and videos. And they have their own support center. If you go to zoom.us, and I'll just show you the front page where I told everybody to go. There is a spot there where it says support. So I'm going to go back to zoom.us, and in the very, very top right corner, it says support. And if I click on that, then I can look at documents and get how-tos this way. Or you could watch the recorded training sessions that they've done in the past. They also have a bunch of videos. So, and they're all separated for categories. So let's say I want to learn about my controls. So I'm going to type in controls there. Here is a whole bunch of thing about the controls. Room controls, managing participants at a meeting. We want to go to the Zoom Help Center. So we'll go
Chris,
there.
are we supposed to be seeing what you're demonstrating? Because we're not seeing that.
Huh. Share your, how about now?
No.
How about, so you don't see?
What we're seeing says SCC instructor. I think we're seeing one of the participants page.
SEC instructor.
So,
Oh, is this Zoom you mean?
yes.
I guess I would have to do that too. Here, there. Now you guys can see Zoom too,
Now we can see
right?
it. Thank you. Yes.
Okay. Sorry, it's a little confusing. Okay, so again, I just went to zoom.us up here, and normally I'd be able to sort of stand over your shoulder and make sure that everyone was looking at the same thing at the same time. Zoom and Zoom's layout is going to be a program that you download, and then the layout is basically the same for all of the buttons. So if you kind of know what your icons look like for the most part, then you can get a general sense of what the icons are. Excuse me, in Zoom. And I'll try and go over those with you. If I get out of full screen mode here. Stop, hide, share, optimize. Nope, that wasn't it. This one? Okay, sorry. I'll go back to explaining zoom.us. Maybe we'll get somewhere with some of these videos. So my plan is to go over here to the top right corner and go to support. And that will take me to some articles or videos that I can watch. And these are helpful. You can set up your own live training once you have your pro account set up. Those are set up daily. And you would just click on one of these, get starting with Zoom for us, and you could register for the next session. I'm just doing all of this from within Zoom's page. And you could just tell them that you're with Southeast Community College. And think we're like here, 500 to 1,000 is what our employee count is, in case anyone's interested. Okay, it looks like, keep in mind, everything's there on the West Coast, so it's gonna be West Coast time. There might be an option to change that. Oh yeah, you can. So I can just change that to Central Time if I want. And I went right by it. And it should be, was it this way?
There.
You can't
I
see
saw
it.
Central Time US and Canada.
It was
did?
down.
It was down? Really?
Yeah.
There it is. I thought you guys were pulling my leg there for a second. All right, anyway, so I changed it. Otherwise, I could have just subtracted 2 hours or added 2 hours, whatever it is. So that would be another way of doing training if you don't feel like you're getting anything out of this right now. So that's, and then you could set it up for yourself this way. There's also, if you are more of the exploratory type and you like to do videos on your own, let's get back to the right spot. I went to the wrong spot. It's the Help Center's front page. These right here show, oh, geez, I got so many buttons on this mouse. Come on back. Nope, not that one. Now it's hidden under that. Okay, thanks for get out of here. Go, there it is. This is what I want to do. So right on the front page of the support, there is the show all videos buttons. And here is a list of all of the videos. You could just start at the top and work your way down. They get more and more complex as far as you know, your interest in Zoom goes. So, and they've even got them all the way down to like things that it can integrate into Zoom and stuff. So you probably don't want to, you probably won't need to go past the all about Zoom, the closed captioning. Well, no, we can't do that one. Oh, okay.
You may have a student that, you know, maybe is deaf or hard of hearing.
Provides accessibility.
So with that closed captioning, we need to be ADA compliant, so you may need to use that. ADA closed captioning. That's where when you're talking, the words will scroll along the bottom. The icon on the Zoom to push that clip.
Okay, here.
Zoom provides accessibility tools, including closed caption. To enable closed caption, please visit zoom.us and log in to view the meeting settings page. Edit advanced meeting settings and make sure that closed caption is checked and save the change. Next time you start a meeting or webinar, you will see the closed caption button at the bottom of the Zoom panel. This feature is seen only by the meeting host. Click here to start using closed.
Okay, so the way they did that was they went to their account, and I'm going to go over to my account now. Can you guys all hear me okay? So there's Zoom, the application in which you'll use and stuff, but there's also Zoom, the website, where I'm going to and I'm getting this information from. That's also a place where you can go to see your profile. So I'm going to type in Zoom/profile, and I forgot I didn't log in. So I'm going to have to log in. And then once I do, that's where I can go to what they're talking about. That settings part is over here on the right-hand side. And I think they said settings, didn't they? And then I'd have to scroll through this long list of stuff here. Control, yeah. Captions. There we go, captionings. And by the way, I did that by clicking on Control F on my keyboard, and I brought up the find feature of the browser, and then I typed in captions. So then it found captions. Here's closed captioning. Apparently I didn't have that enabled. But I don't think I'll be able to enable this because I'm already using my Zoom account right now. But we'll see what happens after I click this button. Okay, I clicked that button. It did a little flashy thingamajobby up here. I'm not sure I have more options or not. I don't see anything on my phone, so that's okay. But that's how you would do it. And then once you went back, yeah, I won't. Yeah, I won't see it again, or I won't see that icon like they were showing in the video here unless I shut all this off and then restarted it again. I've already got a meeting going, so I'm missing that button, okay? But I've found that through the support page. I went over to the support page and just started looking for things of interest. I went to the, again, I went to the videos, and we'll just go ahead and watch this very first one together.
This video will go over how to join a Zoom meeting. When receiving a Zoom invitation, you'll see the join link in the meeting invite. Click the link and you'll be prompted to download and run Zoom. A Zoom US launcher.zip file will download. Simply click on the file and you can install the launcher. If the host hasn't started the meeting, you'll see a message stating, "Please wait for the host to start this meeting." Once the host starts the meeting, the Zoom meeting window will appear where you can join your audio and connect your video. To join your audio, just select Join Audio Conference by Computer. This should automatically appear once you join the Zoom meeting. To connect your video, simply select the video camera icon in the bottom left-hand corner of the Zoom meeting window.
Hey, all right, short and sweet. They're all about a minute long. I don't think any of them are much longer than a minute, so they try and keep your attention. Okay. And while they were doing that, I was thinking to talk about the different ways in which you can access Zoom. I'm on my computer here, and I'm got that connected with the life size going on at the same time. I'm also connected on my phone over here. That's also connected to Zoom, and I just didn't connect the audio, but I think I can kind of show you the icons on here, and you can go left to right. Another way that you could, probably a better way of looking at the icons would be just to going and looking at one of the videos. They've got controls here. I thought I saw meeting controls would be the one that you would want to look at for controls. So for those that are, get this out of the way, familiar with your icons, they're pretty much all the same. I'll kind of show it to you if I can. The mute icon is there. Next to that is the video icon. Next to that would be the invite button. That would be a pretty important button for how you guys use that. And see if I can just play this and see what happens here. They're just going to go through the, okay, so there's the mute button that they're talking about, and you can mute. You just click on top of it, you mute and unmute yourself, and you can do the same thing with the video. There, they clicked on the invite button. So when they click on that, it brings up a pop-up window, and the pop-up window is how you could go about either sending someone an email with the Zoom information that you're trying to have them connect to, or another quick way of doing it is to just click on the copy URL, sending it that way. And if you're on a different device, if you wanted to send it via your phone and send it through text message, you could do that. And then next to that is the participants list. So depending on how many people you have, I've got a whole bunch of people in my participants list right now because everybody's joined this meeting. And as the host of the meeting, I have the ability to mute and unmute people. I can give them different rights, like I made this other computer, the phone is actually the host of this meeting, all the Zoom meetings right now. But I connected my computer to the Zoom meeting, and when I did that, I realized I didn't have the ability to record. So the phone told the computer, hey, here's how you can record. And I just gave them permission through the participants panel in order to do that. Another handy thing about the participants panel is that's where you can send private messages to certain individuals. Okay, you can also send files through the participants feature if you need to. I don't know how much they're going to go.
Can the participants send a file to you as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so there's now they're kind of zooming in on the participants list there, and he's clicking on the more button, and that's where he's about to see a whole bunch of extra stuff that he can do. So when I mentioned the ability to record, if I wanted to make another person a co-host, so say for example, you were going to tag team a presentation, you and a coworker were going to do something really fancy, and you wanted to concentrate on the presentation part, but you knew everyone was just going to love this thing, and they were going to be asking questions nonstop in the chat. Oh my goodness, how was I supposed to present and do the chat at the same time? You can make someone a co-host and give them the ability to mute and unmute, and you could concentrate on presenting while they did all of the behind the scene work, kind of the producer type of thing, where they were answering the questions, muting the unruly people who were typing in the background. My keyboard's pretty quiet, so you wouldn't be able to hear it, and I might have just done something to my screen there, but that's what the co-host or host ability would be handy for. Okay. And Zoom. That was Zoom. That's another Zoom video. Yay. All right. So what else we got? The main button in the middle. There's only one colored button on this thing, and that's the shared button. Right in the middle is where you would be able to do more than just share. So what I just did, and people noticed in V101, the picture changed. Now they're seeing all of the camera boxes, and everybody in the Zoom meeting just sees me waving my hands back and forth like a weirdo. Wait, what happened to the picture screen? Well, that's what the share button can do. So if you click on the share button, that should bring up a pop-up window that gives you all the different options of what you can share. By default, you can share just your computer screen, and if you wanted to make it quick and easy, you'd click share and then click the share button in the bottom right corner. Off you go. You're sharing everything that is being displayed on your computer. If you wanted to use a virtual whiteboard instead, I'm actually not. Okay, I'll do that. I'll share my virtual whiteboard here. Bloop. And now everybody in the Zoom meeting sees a virtual whiteboard. Hello. I'm typing hello there. Oh, I didn't do that right. Okay, now I have to. I don't even. They might have the ability to share too. I wonder if I do or not. I'm not quite sure or not. I don't think so. I just see. It doesn't seem like I'm being able to do anything from it. Wait, what's this? Oh, there's a pencil icon. And if I click on that, I have options. This is from my phone. I can do a pen. So I'm going to do a pen, and I'm going to write. And now I'm writing, and I'm sharing my whiteboard. 2 users are sharing the whiteboard at the same time. Anybody else want to try that from within the Zoom meeting? You should be able to add your own squiggly line, or maybe I'll add an arrow. I'm going to add this arrow. There I go, added an arrow. Look at that. You guys should be able to do that too. I'll leave this up for a couple seconds if you want to give it a try.
How do we do that?
Is there a pencil icon that you see from? Or a, let's see, how would you do that? Let's go over here. We're going to go to support, and we're going to go whiteboard. Whiteboard.
If you want to participate,
Sharing whiteboard.
is doing, then you have to join it through the link I sent you on your email, which is probably on the calendar invite.
If you have
You're not on that?
multiple whiteboards in a meeting. Well, that wasn't that helpful.
905.
Whiteboard feature will allow you to share a whiteboard that you can others, if allowed. Oh, maybe I have to. Let's see if I have to allow you. Well, that guy did it. Oh no, there it is. Yeah, someone else did it. Someone figured out how to type hello. There's a from Milford. There we go. So we're sharing content. I'm sorry. It looks like it might be in the bottom right corner is what I was looking at. Oh, nope. That might have been the erase button. No, that created a new whiteboard page. That's what that did. So now I have 2 whiteboard pages. Anyway, that's, yep, there we go. So we can share content that way. And I'm just going to stop sharing before we just go nutty in here with the whiteboard. And I'm going to share again. And this time, I'm going to share my screen, because this will probably be the main way of doing it. But before I do that, for those of you looking at the Zoom, let's see here. Right underneath the 3 main options, which is going to be sharing your entire computer, the whiteboard, or the iPhone, you could share individual programs as well. Okay, so if you just wanted to show just your PowerPoint, you could, if it was open, you could just share your PowerPoint. I've got a couple extra windows open here that I could share, but just for the sake of simplicity, and what I probably is, I'm going to assume the majority of what people will be using, I'm going to use this first option, the screen option. I'm going to click share. And then it changed. So everybody that was looking at the life-size meeting saw that my phone changed, and now I see the computer show up there, everybody in the Zoom meetings. Yep, you can even annotate on top of what I'm sharing. Okay. Very nice. I can give, people can ask for remote control, or I can give people remote control of, and when I say remote control, I mean they have the ability to move my mouse and keyboard around. So like if I wanted to give Karen control, now Karen, we'll see if she can do it. She should just be able to wiggle her mouse around after she's got a couple different pop-up messages on her screen saying, hey, do you want control of Chris's computer? And now if she moves the mouse around, I'm trying to see if she'll move my mouse here. She might not be able to, or may just not. This mouse over here that I'm moving around, Karen should, maybe I'll choose somebody else. Too late, Karen, took too long. Pick somebody up. Who's that? Ethan was waving at me earlier. I'm gonna try Ethan here, see. Okay, there he goes. Now he should be able to move my mouse around and can do some controls. So if you think of it in terms of a tutoring situation, there may be times when the student is lost on the other side, or you want to take control of their screen. That's how you could do that. And again, that was from my control settings. I'm gonna have to take control away from Ethan here. Guys, go on. Up here, and that's the remote control option. Abort, abort. So I aborted Ethan's control of the screen. Okay. The chat feature is another way to access what we found earlier in the participant screen. So under the more section, let's see who can see under, okay, you guys can see that in the Zoom meeting, and you can also see it in the life-size meetings. I've got my participants list open here, and the majority of people are either muted or don't have a microphone connected. And I can go click on this more option. Well, maybe not myself. I'll pick somebody else. This more option, did I give? Oh, you know what? I didn't give this guy control. This is me right here on the computer, SEC instructor, me. And I don't have much in the way of options, but one option that I do have is this record option. And at the very top, you can see that I'm recording by the little red dot right up there. That's a little red dot indicating that I am recording. So if I wanted to, let's see if I can do this quickly on the fly here. If I wanted to, I could go to my participants list and go to the person who is me and give them more options, like make them a host, and I'm going to do that. And then I'll just, for the sake of argument, close that and then open it back up again. Manage participants. Now I should see more options. Nope, I don't see more options. Well, no, it says I'm host over here, so that's good. Oh, I know what it is. I now have more options for other people, so I can mute them, make their video spotlight. These are things that weren't available to me earlier. I could kick them out if I wanted to, I guess. If you wanted to be a jerk or something. I don't know why you want to do that. Okay, what else have we got here? That's about, we could lock the meeting. Nothing fancy there. Any questions so far? Now's a good time for questions. Let me see if there's any in the chat. There might be some in the chat. Cancel. I thought I saw something earlier. Back here. No. It was.
We never worked on student time, so we just.
So Christopher, as we think about applications for tutors using Zoom, they're going to be tutoring, writing tutors are going to be working with students who are working on a paper. And so they're going, on their computer, they'll have their Word document of their paper. Can you show them how a student would get that document in front of the tutor with Zoom?
Okay. So right now I've got, we'll act like I am the student and I'm on my Word document here. I don't know what I've got here from an hour ago. I don't know what this is. Okay, here's Zoom. I need to stop sharing for a second. There we go. And I am sharing my screen. I'm having the student share my screen. So this is one way of doing it, just by having the student logged into the same Zoom meeting as you, having them have their Word document open, and then asking them to share screen, which would be the green button in the middle. That would be one way of doing it. Another way of doing it would be through the chat feature. If you wanted the Word document, you could go, let's see if I can do this while you guys are in here. You could go into Zoom and click on your participants and choose the end of it. It wouldn't be a whole bunch of people like, oh wait, you guys can't see that in Zoom. Let's see if I can see if this helps. Let's do that again. I'm going to do the chat feature. All right, so there's a single individual. So I'm going to chat with someone and I'm going to send Arden a file. So I clicked on the chat button from within Zoom. And then once that's open, you should see a file button. And that will give you the ability to pick a Word doc. I don't know if I've got any Word documents saved, but oh, I know. But where's my, yeah, nope. Sorry. I know. We'll do this real quick. Okay, so now if I go back to documents, I now have a Word document that I can select. And I'm just going to click on open. Network disconnect. Uh-oh. Network disconnect. Let's try that again. Huh. First time for everything, I guess. Well, I don't know why that didn't work.
So if that did work, where would the tutor find that on their screen? Will it just load into their screen?
Yeah, if they were in Zoom, there would be a little alert at the bottom that would pop up, kind of like a chat notification.
Okay.
And it would be, you know, a click here to download type of thing.
Okay.
So that it wouldn't automatically download to their computer for a virus or, you know, malicious reasons. You still have to manually accept the invitation, so to speak, or manually accept the Word document.
Is that an issue if they're using their private computers? Should they not accept it? Is there a safer way for them to get that document, to see the document? Sure. Without possibly corrupting their computer? Because we'll be working, you know, we'll be working with all kinds of students.
I would say the initial way I talked about doing it, if you don't need the physical copy on your machine and you just need to look at what they're doing, you could do it that way. So it's on their machine and you're just sharing, you're clicking the share button, and then you're looking at the same thing that they are.
Okay. So I recommend you do that because you don't know where if they have malware on their computer or if you have it set up high security. So just share the screen. Don't download their paper onto your computer. You might run into problems. Are you okay with that? Okay. Any other questions regarding, yes?
Yeah, some of our math tutors may be tutoring more than one student. So can you show us the rooms where they can put different students in different rooms?
Sure. Yes, breakout rooms. That's a good one. Let's see here.
I know you guys haven't used Zoom much, but try to think about yourself in a tutor session and think about the questions you're going to have. How do you do this? Because this is the great time to ask and him to tell us, this is how you're going to do that, that's how you're going to do this. Because we're also going to want you to record your Zoom sessions as well. That's going to be proof that you worked. So you're going to want to know where that Zoom record button is. So yeah, you want to be able to get to the question that your student wants help with. For you math tutors who are helping the students, are they working in their math lab, their online homework when they come to you?
Usually, yes.
Okay, so they would be able to share their screen with you. You would have them go ahead and log into that and share their screen with you. And then we have dot cameras ready for you, so you can then take your paper, write down the problem on the paper with the dot camera on it, and then you could work it out for them on the paper, and they'll be able to see that on the screen. Because the whiteboard on Zoom is tough to do math, to write on it.
Yes.
So
So the breakout rooms is kind of like closed caption in that you have to enable it first. I don't know if I ever did enable. Do I have it enabled? I don't think I have it enabled here. Yeah, I think I shut it off because I don't use it enough. But I know where it is. So let me show you. Can I minimize? So what I want to do is share my screen again. Bloop. Then I want to go over to my account settings and navigate to the breakout room option in the meeting tab. By the way, once again, I'm cheating a little bit. I'm just looking at the support center and pulling up this information. Zoom's really good at doing all this. So they break it down step by step of all the different things as far as what the end user does, what you as an instructor would do, okay? But mainly the first step is going into your account settings again. Oh, geez, don't go there. Boy, that's restricted. Boy, you stepped in at that time. Now, don't do that. Go back over here to your settings, and what you're going to look for is your breakout rooms. And this time, I'm going to do the same as last time, which is find it, breakout, there it is, breakout room. And I would just enable that. And I should have additional options here. Allow hosts to assign participants to breakout rooms when scheduling. Oh, yes, that's very important. Yes, please. I'll take some of that. All right, save, and now we are done there. Stop share. I do not know if it did anything. Yep, this is same scenario as the other closed captioning thing. I won't see it in my button list until after I shut down and restart again. And then what happens is a new button shows up called the Breakout Rooms button. Did I already pass it? I must have. Breakout rooms on your account, breakout for group, your own meetings. All right, we'll just watch the video. I'll talk about it. So we're in Zoom, and then we're going to do a breakout room. And then they're going to have they're taking too long for this part. We know it's a video breakout room. Come on, keep going. So I just talked about this. So they're going into the meeting settings, and they have to enable breakout room there. And there's the breakout room button. See, so that's how, I didn't want that in the way. That's, once you enable it, you get an extra button, and then you can go in and configure where you want to assign particular students, and you can interact with them, or if, for example, beyond the math tutoring, for those that just want to know more about breakout rooms, if you've got a group of 6 or something and you want to split them up and have them work individually or maybe in small groups, and then or randomize that or switch it up several times, breakout rooms is an easy way to do that rather than, say, starting Zoom over and over again, or I don't know what other way you want to do it. Every other way would really be painful. You'd want to use breakout rooms if you were going to use a lot of groups sessions. So we'll just keep watching and I'll show you. So they click on the breakout rooms, and then they get to this pop-up window, and how many breakout rooms do you want? Well, I only have 2 different students, and I want to keep them separated, so I'm going to do this either manually or assign it. Actually, if you had 2 rooms, there wouldn't be much to it. You would have 2 students, and it's pretty self-explanatory. They don't give you a lot of choices. Okay, you can rename it if you want, and then you would be able to assign it based off of the users that are already joined in the meeting. So if you had 6 users, you could have 3 in each session, and then those three people would be working amongst themselves. They wouldn't see the large group like we are seeing now with our Zoom users here. They would be split up and they'd only see the three of them. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, so we'll just keep watching. All right, now the rooms are open and everybody just got reassigned. They were in maybe the main room like we are in now. And then once you click the breakout room button, then people kind of ding, you might have heard, there it is, you hear the room sound, and then you get moved into a new spot and you see your other participants. You can host your own session, it looks like. There was the leave breakout room. As the host, you do have extra options. You can monitor remotely and just listen, or you can broadcast and let people know that you're in there with them. Reassign people to other rooms. And then, of course, you can just cancel the breakout session entirely and close it down. Give them a time limit, you know, hey, we're going to go back to the regular room and talk about our group discussion here in about 2 minutes. And you just program it in 2 minutes from now. Boop. And then off it goes. And again, if this is all going too fast for you, you can go over to the support page from Zoom. Go get this out of the way here. Main page is Zoom here. And go to support right in the top right corner. And these key terms that I'm talking about, I'm just searching for them. So the last one was breakouts. And I clicked on that, and then I got a whole bunch of stuff. And I went ahead and chose the third option because it says getting started with breakout rooms. I would probably have put that up the top if I was Zoom, but that's just me. Maybe it's got something to do with no, it doesn't, it's not alphabetized. Anyway, getting started is where we looked at the information that we did, and all of the information is not only in video form, it's also in written form as well. Trying to think of something else. What else? We can't see your screen. Oh, sorry. They couldn't see my screen.
I just know a couple of students, they always have a problem with the audio when they join in the meeting.
They have problems with the video?
Audio.
Sure.
Oh, audio?
Yes.
Sounds.
Okay, how do we solve that problem?
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Okay, let's see here. What can all right, so while I'm hovering up here at the top, I've got my controls. Mainly, these are hidden. But if I hover over this green bar after about 3 or 4 seconds, it'll go away. But if I put my cursor right on top of it, they show up. These are the big buttons, the big main, oh geez, I lost it. The big buttons are the main buttons there, but next to them, some of the buttons have next to them a drop-down arrow, okay? And those drop-down arrows get you to additional information where you can do tests. So, for example, if they were having a problem with their speaker or microphone, you could ask them to click on the little down arrow next to their mic and then test speaker and mic. And everybody gets to, does everybody get to hear that song? Are we all listening together?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so lovely.
So if they don't hear that,
yes,
and we have to direct them to hear us, what do we tell them to do? Is their computer going to automatically fix it for them?
Well, I wouldn't suspect automatic. There might be some type of, if they're on a, there are some prerequisites that we would look at, which is, are you sure they have a microphone plugged into their computer? I had it happen earlier today with a training session. She was positive she had a microphone. In fact, in the Zoom meeting, I saw a little microphone icon next to her name in the participants panel, but never could hear her. And so it wasn't configured correctly. I could only do so much on my side in terms of accessing her settings and her microphone. So for remote sessions like that, I recommend getting the help desk involved. And that's the same, you can either email them. You can either email them or you can go to, see if I can find it here pretty quick. It would probably be something like this, and they're going to be over here, like here. These guys.
So you may need to close your session with that student, have them contact help desk, fix the problem, and then make another appointment with you.
Yes.
Or turn on closed captioning.
Closed captioning is an option. Another option is the chat feature. That's probably handier than the closed captioning option.
Chat. Okay. Yeah.
Another thing that you can have students do, and I just thought of this over here. Zoom test, maybe that's it. Test Zoom room. No, not a Zoom room. I don't want Zoom room. I want a joining a test meeting. This is what I want. You could send them here if you want and have them test ahead of time. And that's zoom.us/test. And I'm already in a meeting, or else I would join it. But that will also give them the ability to have them test on their own.
So when you reply to a request to meet with you on Zoom, you will set up the meeting and send them the link to the meeting. So what you could also do in that email is ask them to go to zoom.us/test and have them test it before your meeting time.
Exactly.
That make sense? Okay. And we're going to have a lot of hiccups. We're going to learn together how to do all of this. And as long as we aren't hit with coronavirus and we're safe and we're going to keep our 6 feet social distance from each other, you can come into the lab and work. We can do Zoom sessions from the lab. That way all of us are there, or a few of us are there, and we can together as a team figure out how to do this. And then, because this may be long-term through the end of the semester. And so next week, when you're scheduled to work, we might scale down a little bit. We don't know yet. I will email you this weekend to know what the shifts will be for next week. But when you're on campus, it's going to be light, more than likely, because most face-to-face classes are canceled. Online classes are still going as is. So there will still be some requests, but it will give us time to really work through this system and hone it and figure out how to use it. So then on the 30th, when everybody comes back, we should be up and ready to go. So that's what I'm gonna push for, so that you guys can get your hours, number one, for next week and get paid, but then so that we can learn how to use this tool really, really well. So we're ready to go be ready to go on the 30th. Okay? All right. Back to you, Chris. Tutor.
Okie dokie.
Hey, Jerian.
Yes, who's talking?
Cedric.
Oh, second.
Oh, Cedric, hello.
Yes, our class is not canceled next week.
Are classes not canceled next week, he asked?
Face-to-face classes are canceled. Online classes will continue as they are. They will continue.
Cedric, did you hear that okay?
Not really. I don't know, the sound is really low.
He said his sound was really low. I think he's adjusting it. Will the tutoring centers produce an info sheet for getting on Zoom the way we have for Smart Thinking? Yes, Arden, we're working on it. Okay, she heard. And then Cedric, to answer your, are you able to hear me any better now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, there we go. So what was your question again?
It was about classes next week. I think the email said the classes were canceled. So are we still going to be open?
Yes, we will still be open.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You know what I just thought of? I should have put that right there. So now I'm looking at the same spot, kind of, sort of. Oh, hey, look at that. Nope, it didn't work. I thought it worked. File continuity. I wonder if it's, no, it said it sent. Huh. Just didn't want to send the first two times. See, third time's the charm. That's what it was. That's how I just had to try it 3 times to send that file. Okay, let's see what else have we got. We've been recording this whole time, so there is a stop and start recording function. When you end the meeting, the video recording gets done in the background, and it takes a while depending on how long the meeting was before the time frame it takes to create the actual video can vary depending on how long the meeting is. So just be prepared to see a little pop-up window on your screen after you're done with your meeting, and that says creating recording or something along those lines. By default, the recordings are put in your My Documents folder, and it just sub-labels everything in a Zoom folder and puts a timestamp on it. So you'll have the Zoom folder in your My Documents folder, and then you'll look for, you know, March 13th, 6 p.m. I think it goes by when it stops, not when it starts. And then you can look at the video that way. There should actually be 3 files in there.
Is this through your Zoom account or on your FCC account?
It would be on your Pro account, you have the option of doing, it would be on your Zoom account. Yeah, so your recording would either, you can either have your recording go to a local place, which is what I was referring to as the My Documents is considered a local place on the computer, or you could save it to the cloud. The cloud will do the same type of thing on the fly. It'll make a recording and you can access that. I wonder if I'm going to go do that. Let's see over here. Come over here, do this, some of that, a little of this, maybe some of this here. What does that do? Okay, I'm sure. Oh, recordings over here. On the right-hand side, I've got a list of all my recordings that I've done. I have mine set up. That's another thing within your profile and your videos. Let me go back real quick. I use my personal meeting ID a lot. This is something we talked about at the very beginning in terms of IDs. You're either going to have a random ID or you can use your personal meeting ID. I use my personal meeting ID a lot. And when I do that, I make sure for the most part that I am recording. And maybe it's under meetings. Yes, personal meeting room is where I would have the ability to edit my settings. I could also do this from within the app, but since I'm on the web page, I'll just do it from the web page. And I could edit my meeting, and I could then do recordings automatically so that you don't have to remember to record. It just automatically records. I'll just do that. And then you can have the option of recording on the local computer or in the cloud. And I have mine set up to record in the cloud. But just be aware that we have a limit of how long recordings are kept and how much can be kept in the cloud storage. I think it's something like 2 gigabytes or some. It's not a whole lot. But the time frame comes into play a lot with people. You can edit that with your local recordings. There's a settings option over here where I think you can change the length of time. Yeah, there it is. You can change the length of time of how long you want to keep your recordings if you want.
So for you guys, I would keep them 60 days, just because if we have to prove to payroll the hours that you worked, you're paid every 30 days. And so if you say for 60 days, then for sure you'd have that evidence if anyone came back to us to say, hey, did Marshall really work this many hours? Then you would have that proof of employment right there. Okay.
And then if I wanted to access any given recording, I could do that from, again, from my Zoom account. Once I'm logged in, I would click on profile, or I could click on, I could go directly to it. These look like they're all like I've got recording highlighted now. That could take me directly to recording. If I just was logged into Zoom, I could go straight to my recordings that way. Or I could log in to Zoom, go to profile, which is here, and then, go down to the recording option. And once I do that, I do have extra options from within my recordings tab. So from my cloud recordings, I'm just choose this first one here. And I click on it and I have the ability to download it. I can share it so that it's actually hosted by Zoom. But keep in mind, if you're doing that way, you have that time limit of, based off of how long you're going to keep your cloud recordings. It is neat. You do have some analytics. No one's actually ever seen this, so there's probably no analytics in here. But if somebody watched it, you could see how long they watched your video, or if they clicked away or something like that.
I would say if you have a great experience with a student, you thought the session went really, really well, and you think your teammates might learn from that, you can feel free to share that recording with your other tutors and say, hey, check this out. This was really cool. If you found a really cool tool, collaborate with each other and share those wonderful discoveries.
There is audio transcripts, and there are different speaker views. So for example, when I'm in Zoom, I am looking sometimes at Tulee's screen, but I'm always using my video camera. So that's what the other option was that we were looking at there. And I got to get out of this because I was stuck. Oops. There we go. Share my screen. Okay. There might be time when I want to be. I want to be the main focus. And so I would just be this view is only going to have just cameras. Okay. There wouldn't be any presentation involved. And it looks like this was a very short, sweet little video with no camera. Oh no, I did have a camera. Hey, here I am with where am I? I'm in this room. I must have done this earlier today. Okay, so here I am checking my camera. And then I've also got my closed captioning here showing up. So all of that is accessible through the Zoom recordings. What else? No, they don't use Canvas at all.
Who?
Anyone in the room?
Just in their classes, not for tutoring.
Oh, okay. There is an ability to link your recordings to Canvas if you are an instructor. So I won't cover that. Okay, let's see. How many?
Do you want to cover the whiteboard a little bit?
Can we do whiteboard some more? Okay.
Whiteboard, yeah, a little bit more. Maybe some math. Do you have access to symbols or
formulas. Let's see here. So I'm clicking on the share screen button and I'm going to go to whiteboard. Oh wait, let's see what's under the advanced option. Content for a second camera, computer sound only portion of my screen. Yeah, no, none of those. That's the advanced option. I'm going back to my base. I'm still in that pop-up window for everyone who's wondering. I've clicked on the share button and I'm looking at my options of what I can share. So under my whiteboard option, it just looks like I have one option for whiteboard. So I'm just going to click on that and share it again. And I'm going to clear all that for everybody, clear all my drawings. Text. What do you guys see? Oh, they're blanked out. So Zoom sees me hovering around, but all the buttons are blank. That's interesting. Save. Yeah, they don't. Oh, wait. And then, nope, that won't help. Nope.
okay.
Not a lot.
So typing or drawing with your mouse?
Typing or drawing with your mouse.
Are there any,
We can share the screen and use the Word. Word have a formula.
is there?
The Word, yeah. Word office have a
Word?
formula, yeah.
Okay.
You can share this, I don't know, have options, just share the screen of the company laptop and open the Word and write the formula there.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yes, right. And that's a great idea. Excuse me. If you wanted to, if you're comfortable using a different program, you don't have to use the whiteboard that comes with the Zoom option. There's, for example, if you're on an SEC computer, most of those have Sphere 2. And that is a program that works with the document camera, but it has a built-in whiteboard. I think there's built-in whiteboards in PowerPoint presentation. As long as you've got the ability to work in a manner that you're comfortable with and you can share your screen, then I would say be comfortable, learn to share your screen, and maybe not necessarily go down this road of learning a different tool. If you're comfortable doing what the way you work, the way you do it works for you, and you know it will work for the student, then it's just a matter of learning to share your screen so that they see what you're seeing. So, for example, formulas, if you got your Zoom set up with a student and you're thinking, oh yeah, Chris showed me about the whiteboard, and you're fiddling around with it and you're like, oh, I'm not getting anywhere with this thing, don't worry about it. Just get out of it by clicking stop share and then maybe choosing a different program from your computer. I'm going to say calculator. Okay, so I've got my calculator open, and now I'm going to click on share screen and choose calculator. And now I've got just my calculator being shared here. I can move it around. I didn't really like where it was. I moved it a little bit, and I'm going to do some calculations. This with that, and it's going to be that. There we go. And now they see that on the other side. My students see it and I see it. And I'm also not just, maybe I'm not just sharing content like the calculator, but I've got another window open over here for Notepad, we'll say. And this, please move this. Oh, yeah, sure. I'm sorry. I'm blocking it. There we go. Get that out of the way. I'll move this a little bit. Now I'm taking notes on the side. See, they're working and the student is seeing the calculator, but I'm going, nope, they got number 1 wrong. Yes, number 2, yes, they got that right, that kind of thing. So I can do sort of multitasking here while the student is only viewing the calculator. And everyone, and I just realized everyone in Zoom didn't realize that I had Notepad open next to, here, let me change this. I had Notepad open next to my calculator, and they are seeing this in V101 room. So while you were seeing just the calculator in the Zoom meeting, as an instructor, you still had the ability to do your calculations within the program, but then also work in a separate application at the same time. For my example, I'm using Notepad and I'm just taking notes on the side. So there's that option. And the main thing that I'm doing is just sharing screen. That's the main thing. Share screen, unshare screen. Share screen, unshare screen. Any questions? You couldn't hear Jerry Ann? Okay. That was a while ago. I'm sorry. Let's see, what else? You won't do any live streaming. There's the emoticons for thumbs ups and stuff. You can raise and, yep, Ethan's got it already. Okay, so you just click it and unclick it and it goes away. What else? Share screen. I think we're running out of things to look at here. Share screen one more time.
You guys know how to set up a meeting? Oh, I don't know. Turn your mic on. Mute it.
Like, we have our personal meeting ID that's always the same, that basically you coordinate with them and you both get on at the same time when you're in that meeting. Do you think it's better to do that versus scheduling a meeting, like like, okay, we're meeting every Tuesday at 1, will they schedule that? Is one really better than the other?
Well, it depends. If you get to know somebody really well, and I think it might be better to always send a meeting link. Otherwise, you might be meeting with somebody else if you're giving that out, and they could just interject into your meeting.
Okay.
Could they do that, Christopher? If other people have your, oh, hello, puppy dog. If a tutor would use their own personal ID for the meeting, oh, let's play fetch. And students know that ID. She was asking, is it better always to set up a meeting with them or just give that personal ID and they can just connect whenever they're planning to meet? Right. The random meeting number.
And for the random meeting number, like if you schedule a meeting, so like I'm meeting with this person every Tuesday at 1, would that continue to be the same number for just that time? Does that make sense?
You can do a reoccurrence. You can set reoccurrence meetings. Yeah. But that ID, that random ID would only be then for those reoccurring meetings with that person. Yeah. Like that. Hi, Kennedy. That is hilarious. What would happen if you take the ball away? There you go. Gotta close the door. I mean, that's what I would do with my kids. I didn't say that. Can you go ahead and show them how to set up a meeting for somebody maybe who has never set up a meeting before? Schedule a new meeting.
Scheduling a meeting on the Zoom website is a quick and easy process. After logging in, select My Meetings and then Schedule a Meeting. From here, you can select the topic for the meeting. If you'd like to use this meeting repeatedly, select a recurring meeting. Otherwise, select the date, time, and duration for your meeting. You'll have various options such as turning on the host video by default, turning on participant video by default, and audio options. You can also enable a password for the meeting, allow others to connect before you as the host start the meeting, mute others upon entry, or use your personal meeting ID. After selecting Schedule, you'll be able to invite others by Google Calendar, Outlook Calendar, or Yahoo Calendar. You can also copy the invitation, which will allow you to copy and paste the invitation to others manually.
Just another quick question with that. So you can, I'm just messing around on my own and I set up a meeting and stuff. You can start it at any time. It doesn't have to be at that specific time. So it does, you don't have to, oh, we rescheduled and made it an hour later. It doesn't really affect it. You can still go to that link. They can still access that. So you can kind of have like an individual number for each person you're tutoring if you want to. Okay. We're gonna chalk that one up to coronavirus.
That's good.
Check, check, check. Darn it. Mute, unmute. All right. Sorry about that, Karen. The meetings button, my meetings, I'll just go over this real quick, Karen. We scheduled a new meeting. We filled it all out. We did a recurring meeting. We changed recurrence from daily to weekly, and that gave us the ability to change it from either Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday. And then we created, based off of the settings that we wanted, breakout room, pre-assigned, maybe. Then we would just save that, and then that would then show up in our list of meetings. If we wanted to, we could have emailed it right then and there. It sends you right to the email page. If not, then you could click, if you didn't want to do it right then and there, and say, for example, you said, oh, I made a mistake and I need to go in and edit that, you can still do that from the edit this meeting button after you've clicked on it. And you could either, you'll have choices, so all of them or just this meeting. And I'm going to say that I want to add breakout rooms this time. So if I wanted to, I could create a couple breakout rooms and fill all this out.
So say a tutor is scheduled on Mondays from 9 to 11, every Monday, and they're going to be available for Zoom tutoring. Could they go in and just set up a reoccurring meeting for Mondays from 9 to 11, and then when a request comes in, they just send the link to that person?
Yes. So they could have it set up so that, you know, they're the only one in the room, and then they get an alert, text message, phone call, something, email, and hey, I'm available now. Would you be able to do a tutoring session? From within the Zoom app, what I would recommend is clicking on the invite button. And the invite button will give you the ability to either send it through email, or you could copy the invitation or URL and send it to them either through a text message or an email from some other form. See if I click on, I don't know how much you can see here. Copy invitation just says email has been copied to the clipboard. If I copy URL, it's just that URL. I'm going to open this up with Notepad to show you what's on it. Paste. So the copy URL is the shorter version. Copy invitation is going to be a bunch more information for them. So it's all of this, which is join a meeting and the ability to contact or connect by phone if you need to, or an 800 number. So. Oh, good question. Yes, after you have your pro account created, you can change that to whatever you want. It can be your, you'll notice it's the same number of digits as your phone number. So a lot of people do change it to their office phone. And then that's all they give out is just their phone number. But yeah, I didn't get lucky and get 9050505050. I went in and changed it myself. Was that the actual question that you asked, or is that, did they answer it, or? Nope, the random ID is just that. It's random. And when you say, if you were to say join, start a meeting from on the fly right now or something, then that meeting ID number would get randomly generated. You don't get to really pick it. Ethan has his hand up. Can't hear again. Oh, you can't hear Ethan? Maybe that was it. Okay, don't worry about. Yeah. Oh, don't worry about it. I heard you through the. Yeah. Yep. I got you, Karen. We're gonna cover his thing later. Okay. I think that's it. We do have, I guess there's, as far as other sharing options, you do have the ability to share multiple screens simultaneously. So if you wanted to share your desktop while they were sharing their desktop, that is an option that you can do. So I'm going to click on share screen, and then somebody else, see here if I can do that from this thing. I'm going to share. You cannot start screen share while the other person, well, it said I could, but okay, I guess not. Maybe someone else is already. Anyway, I found a option when I clicked on share screen. There was a drop down, or in our case, drop up option that gives you the ability to either one participant can share screen at a time, or multiple participants can share screen at a time. So just be aware of that as well. Any other ideas or thoughts people might have? Is this something that you might be able to use once we get put into quarantine? Okay. And you guys are always welcome to contact me directly. My phone number, if you guys want to write it down, is 402-730-4611. And I can see Doris frantically looking for a pen. I will say it again if need be. So it's 402-730-4611. Yes, 4611. So don't worry about calling me during these trying times. I'm considered essential employees, so you can have my phone number, okay? All right, I think I need to go outside with the dog now. Thank you, everybody. Take care. I'll keep this recording, and if you do want to look at it later on, I'll send Jerriana the link to it, okay? All right. Bye-bye.